Not only does former USA Ryder Cup captain Steve Stricker have the added pressure as the defending KitchenAid Senior PGA champion, he and a handful of former PGA Tour winners and major champions are stepping onto Harbor Shores for the very first time, as the second major on the PGA Tour Champions calendar prepares for a possible finale in Benton Harbor. New Prairie baseball's known this is the year. 8 seniors, some of whom weren't even born the last time the Cougars made it to semi-state in 2005. But following a program-setting season, they can now say that they're the first to play in and potentially win a state title when they face Brebeuf Jesuit in Friday's Class 3A state championship. Offensively, there was some pop in the lineup. Casey Opitz, a third-year South Bend veteran, drove the team's second home run of the year over the right field wall. But as manager Nick Lavella told me post-game, this came down to missed chances. The Cubs left 8 runners on base, all of them in scoring position. Notre Dame had a chance midway through the third quarter, and then another chance, and then another. But the Irish offense was out of sync and could not capitalize when given the opportunity to steal a come-from-behind win that instead was a self-inflicted loss, one that fell right off the table for Clemson to earn a 31-23 upset victory. Notre Dame travels west and embarks on its journey for its 10th win of the season when they take on Oregon State tomorrow in the Sun Bowl. Like the desert and the rugged faces of the Franklin Mountains that surround Sun Bowl Stadium, this game will be irregular, given the 20 new expected starters for both teams, new starting quarterbacks, new opportunities for players to run to daylight, and ultimately the final game for others. And for Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, it's one last chance to compete in 2023. Pete, I saw Mike Bray in tears during the alma mater after what was just a strange and tough game overall. I mean, down 32-8 in the first 8 minutes. You come back and really you're trailing the entire game. You pull within 6 twice, and with a team that prides itself on veteran leadership and taking control, they're at a crossroads. And Mike Bray post-game was pretty emphatic that this one was on him. But he's not your average third-string quarterback. Ben Gulbranson made 10 appearances last season and made 8 starts, 7-1 record during that stretch, and he is thrust into the starting role after quarterback DJ Uyunglele and Aiden Childs, the backup, both entered the transfer portal. Guys, what's your favorite part about Wright State basketball?
We're musical theater majors. We don't know a lot about basketball. We're acting majors. But we're pretty good, right?
Yeah, we just won that. You're pretty good?
Yeah, we just got into the NCAA.
Despite some opt-outs, Morrison described the defense as playing at full strength, and it certainly feels that way for next season. Marcus Freeman adding post-game that defensive end Jordan Botello is expected to return next year, adding yet another piece to the veteran puzzle in 2024. Now, as for 2023, 10 wins certainly looks better than 9, as Freeman put it, improving from a year ago while also showing the direction his program is trending toward.
Get on top. I was born in Germany in 1935. I came to the United States in 1957, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Come on. Work out. Yes.
Boom. Nestled in the woods of New Buffalo and tucked along Lake Michigan lies the Dunes Club, a private golf club often regarded as one of the top 9-hole golf courses in the world. Established in 1989 by Mike Kaiser, it's been home the last 24 years to a man presumed to be the oldest living caddy in America, 89-year-old Joe Meindl.
I say, Mr. Kaiser, I want to break the record to be the oldest caddy in the United States. And he said, boy, Joe, he says, that's a big order. I don't know. I told him, not just in the United States, I'm going to be the oldest caddy in the world. Here it is.
Joe's life has taken him all over the world, but it started growing up in Nazi Germany in the 1930s.
During the Hitler regime, my dad got killed during the war in Russia, and I only got very little memories of him because I only was 6 years old when he got killed.
Raised by his mother and one brother, growing up in post-war Germany became difficult.
I asked her one time after I grew up and I was 16 years old. I asked her, I said, Mom, why didn't you ever get married? And she said, well, Joe, I couldn't do it because I couldn't let any other man raise you the way I want you to be raised.
Joe made his living as a chef and sausage maker. His profession then brought him to the States in 1957. where he worked in Madison, Wisconsin for Oscar Mayer.
One of my goals was I'm gonna try it for 1 year. If I like it, I'm gonna stay. And I send for my fiancée. And if I don't like it, I give her a promise I'll be back.
After only 3 months stateside, Joe made up his mind. He and his wife settled in LaPorte.
I'm the luckiest guy there is. My health is good. My family is good. My wife, she's my soulmate. Married for 66 years.
He retired in 1993, and several years later, it was a favor to caddy one loop that changed everything.
You gotta be firm to get it up there.
Yep.
And since, his second profession journeys roughly 300,000 miles caddying, and many more to come.
I'm 89.
Why keep doing this?
For me, it's the best office job I ever had. And it's easy. Oh, right in the jar. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people. I'm not just a caddy. I feel like it, and that's what everybody tells me. You're not just a caddy. You're part of the Dunes Club.
It doesn't matter if it's 110 degrees out,
Doesn't matter.
anything like that. You're out here 5 to 7 days a week.
Whenever they call me, I'm caddying. I never turn down one loop.
Do you think you'll ever stop?
No. That long I can keep up, and that long I get requests, and they want me around to caddy for them, I never give up.
It comes down to a lot of mental toughness. She's a tough-minded, gritty player, and being able to handle adversity is what sets good athletes from great athletes.
No two basketball careers are the same. Just ask Jaden Flagg. The guard from New Prairie has overcome a torn ACL in the same knee twice to build an all-NIC career.
The first one happened about the summer between my 7th and 8th grade. Then the second one happened about 4 games into my freshman year. But then after that, it was just really hard knowing that I had to sit out basically my whole freshman year. Usually, like, you adjust to, you get used to everything. It just made me realize that I'm mentally stronger than I think I am. It also made me realize who I have with me and the amount of support that I have, that I can do things even when it's hard.
Unfortunately, it's a lesson Flagg knows all too well.
It was a normal day, and then all of a sudden I got a call from my mom. She called me and she said, your brother's been in an accident, and they said they don't know if he's gonna make it. And at first I didn't know. Like, I thought maybe she was just, joking or something.
In May 2023, a car crash took the life of Jaden's older brother, Braden, a sophomore on the Olivet Nazarene men's basketball team and a former star for New Prairie.
I sat there and I held his hand, and I was like, I told him I'm gonna be okay. And just everything like that, like, I knew that this was gonna make me stronger, and I knew that he'd always be here with me and stuff like that. I knew I also had to be strong as well for my family, but I knew at the same time I had the right not to be strong.
She was, I guess, a warrior. Like, I talked to her, and she wanted to face her team. She wanted to talk to her team. She wanted to be a leader. She wanted everybody to know that I'm doing this now for him.
The sport that bonded the two siblings became Jaden's outlet. It's why her shoes are inscribed with the date she lost her biggest supporter, and near a small locket containing Braden's ashes. So he's always tied to her game.
I just felt like I want him there when I played the sport that he loved, and I want him there when I played as well. So, like, if I ever look down or something, I know, like, he's here with me.
Everybody has their why when they play sports. Do you feel like yours has changed?
I do. I would say my why has changed. Either build on what he has done here, and as well as just make him proud. I know that if he was here, he would be proud of me and where I've come this season, and I just know that the better I get and the better I do, he would just continue to support me no matter what.
'Tis the season, and Marcus Freeman keeping the spirit alive by going shopping this holiday. During the mini off-season, we'll call it, between the final week of the regular season and the Sun Bowl, he's picked up a new offensive coordinator and went to the transfer portal for a quarterback, an edge rusher, a kicker, a defensive back, and 2 wide receivers. And like 2 people fighting over the last limited edition Beanie Baby on the shelf, all of them are competitors. That's the differentiator for Marcus Freeman when he looks in the transfer portal. 3 games left, and the Colts control their own destiny if they want to reach the postseason. Heading into this week against the Falcons, Indy has a 51% chance to make the playoffs, according to NFL Next Gen Stats. A loss really doesn't move the needle a whole lot, while a win increases those playoff odds to 76%. And we now take a live look at Notre Dame Stadium, where the Irish are celebrating, unlike 3 weeks ago against Ohio State. And that's where we're joined by WSBT 22 Sports Director Pete Byrne. And Pete, it was a complete 180 from what we saw at Notre Dame last week against Louisville. The Irish go from being upset handily to earning the biggest win over a top 10 team since beating USC in 1995. What were some of your takeaways? Yeah, Pete, absolutely. 6 sacks of Caleb Williams, under 200 yards. 5 turnovers they forced against the USC offense. That's WSBT 22 Sports Director Pete Byrne, live from Notre Dame Stadium. Pete, thanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was a timeout and then 2 chances to try and fix a critical mistake in a gut-wrenching last-second loss to Ohio State. Notre Dame was down 1 player, a missing defensive end, right where the final touchdown was scored, despite just 3 seconds left in the game. You guys want to hear a joke, though?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Why'd the sports anchor cross the road?
Because he wanted to play golf.
So he could go home for the night and go to bed. See ya, everybody. Take us to wedding.
Bye, Bennett.